Grown man business. I've got another episode of Red Ghost Sports Talk. I'm your host, Red Ghost. Alright, let me just clear something up. Cause I don't want nobody thinking crazy, but my last video, when I was talking about Minnesota Vikings, I was saying that I wanted Minnesota Vikings to go all the way. Now, let me just go ahead and be clear. For the Super Bowl, for Super Bowl 50, beginning of the season, I wanted my Denver Broncos to play Minnesota Vikings in the Super Bowl. And the reason being, I just hate how the league did Adrian Peterson last year. And I seen worse offenses, worse players in the league getting in worse trouble and didn't get treatment like that. He was pretty much suspended for the whole year. Behind an incident where he's disciplining his own child with a switch. And that's just old school discipline right there. Your grandmother telling you go get a switch and all that, but they try to blow it out of proportion, all because of the Ray Rice controversy and scandals or whatever, conspiracy, whatever you want to say. And they really try to use him as an example. So I didn't like that. So I'm always going to root for Adrian Peterson. He's one of my favorite players in the league. He's my favorite running back. And I love to see him come on over to Denver, get up out of Minnesota, because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they have. They don't even know their identity, for one. They don't know if they're a running team, if they're a throwing team. They don't even know themselves. So that's why I made that statement. I didn't go in detail, and go in depth on what I said in the last video. So I just want to make it clear. Me personally, I do want to see Denver Broncos against the Minnesota Vikings. I think that would be awesome. Peyton Manning against Adrian Peterson in the Super Bowl. So that's why that statement came out the way it did. But anyway, let's talk about quarterbacks. Now, I talked about Bridgewater and Carson Palmer. And Carson Palmer is definitely in the talks of MVP. We got two other quarterbacks in the same conversation. Cam Newton and Tom Brady. Right now, Tom Brady, I think he fell a couple slots down. That two loss in a row is hurting right now. Because you think about it, Cam Newton don't have any receivers. He's doing all this. His best receiver is out for the whole year. And he's been doing all this pretty much on his own. Only receiver he really have is the tight end, my boy, Greg Olsen. I ain't forget his name this time. But we mentioned that earlier before in a couple of videos, a couple of weeks ago. Any other quarterback would have folded by now. And I think you're seeing that with Tom Brady. Not saying that Tom Brady, this next game, is not going to show out. He's not going to play angry. He's going to be angry. But my top three picks would be, actually, MVP of the league. It would be Cam Newton, Carson Palmer. I guess you could put Tom Brady in that conversation, but he's definitely third of that list now. They were trying to put him as number one, but he's definitely behind Cam Newton and Carson Palmer. Other players, I would say Antonio Brown. He definitely need to be in that talk. He's going off. I would say Adrian Peterson, but that last game kind of hurt. It hurts. His first game of the season was bad, and it was terrible against the 49ers. A terrible 49er at that. and he had another bad game against the Seattle Seahawks. But who else can we talk about? Could be in that talks for MVP of the league. Can we get some defensive players? I like that safety out there in Cincinnati, Reggie Nelson. He's from he's from out here. He's about 30 minutes from out here. You know, Waynesboro, Georgia. I'm in Augusta, Georgia. He's about 30, 45 minutes from out here. You know, his hometown. He's a good. Hey, he's definitely need to be the defensive player of the year. He's stepping his game up. Came from Florida Gators. He was out there playing with Tebow and Hernandez, Percy Harvin. You know, uh, yeah, Reggie Nelson. I like him. I like him. Him and J.J. Watts. They really making some noise this year for the defensive side. But let me know what y'all opinions, man. I want to know who y'all think is the MVP of the league. Give me some players in the offensive side. Give me some defensive players. Who's the defensive player of the year in your opinion? What teams y'all like? You know, what players? Let's talk about this, man. The MVP, baby. Grown man business.